Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Ferdbird the Nerd with another video game market report for the last week. Oh, this is the last week of March 2025. Crazy. March is always like the longest month for me just because there's no sunshine, no holidays, all of that. Not so much fun stuff, but I do appreciate everyone's support. I know we're not watching a ton of these video game market reports, but I still do think it's one of the most important segments for collectibles going forward. So do me a favor, everybody, hit that like button, subscribe, tell every single one of your friends, and I'll keep doing these. But without further ado, let's get into it. I have about, I think, 8 games in this report today. So let's just take a look, see what we got. Maybe it'd help if I actually went to the slides, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, hope everyone had a great weekend. I usually do, comic book market reports on Mondays, but I kind of want to do a video game market report this time. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, first off, Fallout New Vegas. I basically was like, never seen this version before. I believe this is one of the later versions of Fallout. Don't quote me on that, but a 9.8 sealed grade. It went for $499. And there's nothing special about this, like as far as like, there's no special edition, there's no like extra figure, but the heat that this show got from Amazon, it's just can propel this to more audiences. I know when the actual show came out, there was a specific Fallout, like I think it was like the bomb type of deal. It was a collector's edition that went for a pretty good price. So I think if you're a collector of Fallout or just want to have a piece of the game, $499 is a lot of money for a quote unquote modern game, but it makes sense here with the market. So maybe we'll see this fall down a little bit. You can get a good price, but if you are in the market for this, 500 big ones. Halo Reach 9.8. So I've never been a Halo fan. I never really gotten those first person shooters, but I did play this at the arcade the other day. And Halo Reach is evidently the 6th installment of the Halo series. Now, this is like the Mario of Xbox. This game basically got Xbox off the ground running. 9.8 sold for $700. That is a lot for a non-first generation game. I think you can find seals for about $100, so that's about 7 times your investment if you're lucky enough to get a 9.8. If you are trying to get a 9.8 out of the sealed versions, just make sure that the tape corners, the Y folds are crisp and clean, because I couldn't find a lot of non-9.8s that went for close to $700. So it might be one of those like one-off type deals. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, $700 for 9.8. It's really rich for a newer game. Super Mario Wonder on the CGC now, or CGC 10.0s. It's really hard to get a 10.0 with regards to CGC, VGA, what have you. But the premium for 10.0s, and this game came out like 2 years ago, which is crazy to me because I feel like Marcus and the crew and I were just talking about this game. But yeah, that I don't know if this is like the new Mario game to invest in, but according to Vinny, like a lot of it was a really fun game to play at the store. But if you are trying to get this, there's only remember to look for the 4 zeros there. There's something special about this game when it came out, when we were trying to talk about flipping this game on the show, but we'll get into that side next, or in a couple. 2019 Pokemon Shield. Now, again, this is a graded 10.0, so I'm not saying go buy a bunch of sealed Pokemon Shields, but if you are lucky enough to get a 10.0 and you don't feel like holding on to it and you paid like $50 for it, man, get your money. $500 is a lot of money. I would definitely look for this on a Whatnot auction, because you're able to see the condition of the game versus going online on eBay and not having the greatest pictures or whatever. But yeah, $599 for a Pokemon video game. Pokemon always does well. If it was me and I was investing in Switch games for the long haul and it was a Nintendo or a Pokemon game, I'd probably go with the Pokemon Go game that had like the little ball like along with it. I remember looking back at that this pre-pandemic. I was like, man, that'd be really cool to like have. And I wasn't really collecting video games at that point. But those sealeds go for like $300, and that game's like 6 years old. So, but this is a great kind of caveat or alternative if you are trying to flip. 10.0s, man, they go for a lot of money. So remember we were talking about Mario Wonder. This is the reason we were trying to get people to buy that cart. So the deal is, if you got Super Mario Wonder, right? Each game came with a pack, but it was in the pre-orders. So you had to pre-order from like Walmart, GameStop, what have you. And this was like the big hit, this Elephant Mario card. Well, I remember when this game or this card came out, the Elephant Mario card was going for like, you know, $600-700, and I was like, I don't know if it's gonna hold. Well, sure enough, CGC graded 9.5, just sold for $500. That's 2 or 3 years after the games come out. It's very collectible. The only thing I think that's going to hold this back is I haven't seen Elephant Mario like in mainstream really. And it's kind of random, but I love the collectability of it. I love that, you know, the potential of getting this card and being able to get a 10.0 of the graded. It's video game. It's pretty cool, but it's got a lot going for it. Good game. It's a beloved franchise, and it's rare. So if you are wanting to invest, you're going to spend $500 for a 9.5 graded this card, and it is hard to get this card, believe me not. Next up, a classic Street Fighter 2 7.5 sealed version. There was a million of these games, probably like 5 million of these games like printed out. But if you ask any kid who played video games in the mid-90s, they played Street Fighter 2. Yeah, I think this is just like one of the best fighting games of all time, if not the best. It kind of spawned off the whole entire like genre of like the side-by-side fighting. And then, you know, later down the road, Virtua Fighter, those type of games, it kind of spawned like, okay, you can do like a kind of a 3D type deal. But I just thought this was a great 7.5 seal. It's not the best copy, but it's definitely like a piece where you had a friend coming over. Oh, damn, I remember Street Fighter 2. That's so cool. You have like a sealed version of it. Might get them into collecting. I don't know. Another one that I didn't play on Super Nintendo, but I remember seeing it and being like, man, that's way better on PC. SimCity. This was the first strategy game that I ever played. $600 with multiple bits on this on the bay. Now, this is not graded, and it wasn't in the greatest shape. Probably need to touch up on it or like clean it at least. I feel like this is like sealed is a lot more rare than other regular Super Nintendo games, just because if you got this game on the PC, it just made more sense to play on the PC versus Super Nintendo. Albeit, this is still, I feel like, a really good collectible if you're a strategy game collector. Now it's very segmented, so like I'm talking like the Civilization 2, Warcraft, StarCraft 2, you know, type of video games. I think this is, but if you are gonna expect on SimCity for the longer term, and I mean it's on the app or the SimCity app, I think this is the one to go for, just because there wasn't a lot of, I don't know anybody that played SimCity on SNES, but I know a ton of people that played SimCity on PC. All right, Fatal Frame, the second version, 9.0 sealed, sold for $139. Man, that is so cheap for a sealed version of this very low print for video games. You know, kind of like horror games. I had such a good deal. I would have been all over that. 9.0 is not the greatest. It's not the greatest grade, obviously, but I don't know. Maybe it's like a candidate to like maybe crack open and resubmit it to CGC, maybe clean up a little bit. But any Nightmare games are going to be solid bets. And Fatal Frame is like one of those forefronts for like great games. The second version didn't do as well as far as selling is concerned. But man, that cover is just spooky as hell. So, and last but not least, Silent Hill number 2, 9.6 sealed, $930 for the PS2 version of this game. Now, I think that's just a beautiful cover. I think Silent Hill on PS5 kind of made me think of this one. I'd rather get the original, but it's a great investment. I don't know if they're going to make any more Silent Hill like movies, but it would make sense for them to do like a TV show, or even perhaps like do like a digital type version of it. I think that'd be cool. But this was, other than Resident Evil, this was like the number 2 like horror game growing up. And it didn't sell as well as Resident Evil, but just because I didn't think it had like it was more story. You didn't really have like weapons to like fight with, but still a really popular game when it comes to the horror genre. Anyway, that's your market report for video games this week. I do appreciate everyone's support. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to all your friends, and we will see you next time. Take care.